Broadcasting live from the multiverse, it is Tap, Tap, Concede. With everyone away at Portland this weekend, we are...
The Dregs.
Yes, the B team.
B team.
The sideboard of Tap, Tap, Concede.
We are the sideboard.
Wow. Yeah, we are.
We come in game 2.
Yeah.
To hate out certain decks.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
So, we are...
I'm Serge.
I'm Alex.
And I am Cameron.
Yay.
Yay. So, how do we usually start these things off? How does this work? What's the meta like?
Oh, yeah, we've been living in the sideboard so long, we don't actually know how to play this game. I think we crack a pack first.
Let's start with a crack
All right,
pack.
Let's do it.
let's crack a pack.
Serge, you haven't rolled for a while, right?
I have not rolled for a
let's
while.
do it.
All right, how many packs do we have?
I don't know.
All right,
Lots,
let's see what
but
happens.
we count down from the top.
All right, guys.
No
One
whammy.
time, no whammy. I don't know what number
There's
5
actually
is.
no whammies. We took out all the homelands because
Oh.
it was just awful. 3.
Yeah.
Oh!
Got there.
And for today's present, I give you Unglued.
Oh, boy.
Yay!
Come on, Lance.
One time, Herloon Wrangler.
Do we
Wow, this pack feels so weird. Just touch it before I open it.
Yeah, these packs are like matte sort of paper finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Mylar at all. It's weird.
Yeah.
Feels
Ooh,
kind of
Look
cardboardy.
at that. All right. Do we want to
Yeah.
give it a spank?
Sure.
Let's give
No.
him.
Here.
All right.
Here you go.
Let's give him that sweet crack pack opening sound.
The
Oh.
noise.
Wow, that's so satisfying. You don't get that out of the
yeah.
tinfoily
It sounds like.
packs.
I don't think this one would burst as well, but
All right, guys. Our first card in this pack is. Where do I even start reading this?
oh no, it's that one.
Our
isn't it?
market research shows that players like really long card names, so we made this card to have the absolute longest card name ever, Elemental.
Nice.
Elemental.
And this is the one where the text actually goes the complete way around the card frame.
Yeah, the name is actually the border. So let's look at our vanilla stuff here. For a colorless green, you get a 2/2 creature elemental.
Okay.
But wait, there's more.
Of course, there's more.
It has Art Rampage 2. Whenever this becomes blocked by a creature, it gets +2/+2 for each creature in the blocker's art beyond the first. Seems strong. And for the flavor text, just call it OMRSTPLRLCNSWMTC -THTALCNEE for short.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
All
Fewer
right.
syllables or more syllables?
I don't actually know.
All right, you wanna introduce card
It's a
number
pile
2
of
here?
books.
Do you wanna introduce card number 2 there, Alex?
Word mail. Oh, I recognize this creature. This is the infernal spawn of infernal evil or something. But it's a mouse or some sort of vole with a magic sword and shield. For 1 white, you get an enchant creature. An enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each word in its name. Whoa, sick combos.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
That's like plus a million on this previous
I'll
card.
do the math.
I'll let you do the math.
They cheated, and you can just count the letters.
Still dies to removal.
Still dies to removal. You get
Brutal
like
2 for
harsh
ones.
2-for-1 on this.
Yeah.
Next up we have
26,
doubleheader.
though. It's
20 plus 26 plus 26.
yeah. So
for a white.
for a turn, you could just one shot them.
Yeah, seems pretty good. Doubleheader for 3 blue. You get a creature Drake, 2/3 flyer.
It seems bad.
Yeah, that's pretty
Is
bad.
there any more?
When it comes into play, you may return target permanent with a 2-word name to its owner's hand.
Is it a may or you have to?
Yeah, it's a may.
Okay, so it doesn't
So
have
it-
to bounce itself.
It doesn't have to bounce itself, but you could. That seems like it could be useful.
Like a 2-part name. Do they mean a 2-word name?
Yeah,
or
two-word name.
2-word name. Okay.
Like any permanent with two words in its name, you can
Okay.
bounce. That could be good.
Oh, you missed the flavor text.
Oh, what was that?
Players that don't read flavor text aren't too bright.
Whoa!
Sort of smell and dress funny.
Wow.
Well, let's just keep this between us, okay? They can get kind of violent.
Wow. That hateful.
That was
hateful
cold as
stuff.
ice.
That just made my day.
Well, now I'm just gonna have to read the rest of this.
Oh, man. Wow.
Hey Serge, how about when fluffy bunnies attack? 3 and a black for an instant.
Oh, okay. When
Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of times the letter of your choice appears in that creature's name. Get it? Bunnies, letters, -X. Me neither. Bucky, flavor text writer.
Uh-huh.
This set.
Yeah, this set's so funny. I kind of hope they do another one because, it's just like fun. I mean, it's going to piss off every spike in the world.
Is
just
there a
like,
stain?
No,
Did you
cards
notice,
I can't use.
do you notice the extra art in this? The bunnies are actually spilling over the art on this card. That's really interesting.
All of these
Yeah.
cards have the art spilling outside
what?
the frame.
Have I never noticed
Yeah,
that?
no, check it out.
Oh man, this set is so cool.
This must be where we got the Planeswalker sort of spillover.
Oh, okay.
How do you guys feel about a Goblin SWAT team?
Seems strong.
3 and a red for a Goblin Warrior. It's a 2/2, so that's not amazing. Say Goblin SWAT team. Put a +1/+1 counter on Goblin SWAT team unless an opponent swats the table within 5 seconds. Play this ability only once each turn. They put this special in special weapons and tactics.
So
They've got big fly swatters.
what do you do? Are you like, I attack with Goblin SWAT team?
And they're just like, whoops. In response, I slap your dumb face.
No, it specifically says table,
Oh, okay.
and I would rule in favor of.
Just like, judge!
Yeah. No, sorry. He hit you. That's a fair misunderstanding of the card. I'll just call that a failure to communicate.
Oh, this is weird. SNOT, as an acronym, SNOT, for a green. It has power and toughness is star to the second power, star to the second power. As Snot comes into play, you may stick it to another creature named Snot in play. If you do, all those creatures form a single creature. Snot's power and toughness are equal to the square of the number of Snots stuck together. 1 is a 1/1, 2 are 4/4, 3 are 9/9, and 4 are 16/16. Huh.
What does SNOT stand for?
It doesn't say. But yeah, it's like if you land 2 of these, it's actually kind of sweet.
Is it like super banding?
Kind of. This is like the opposite of that ooze creature that splits into 4 pieces. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
No idea.
Damn it. It was in a core set. Like when you kill it, it turns into 2. It's a 4/4, and it turns into 2 2/2s, and then each of those turns into 2 1/1s when they die.
That's kind of cute.
It's
Yeah.
kind of cute.
Come on,
Little-
doubling season. Uh-oh.
Little girl, half a white mana for a human child, which is half, like 1/2 power, 1/2 toughness. In the future, she may be a distinguished leader, a great scholar, or a decorated hero. These days, all she does is pee the bed.
What?
That's really weird. Just like, well, still chumps pretty good.
Oh, jeez. You're just gonna throw
Just
a
like,
little girl
just
under
throw
the bus?
throw this little girl under the bus.
That's
It's
cold,
like,
dog.
it's like I attack with Tarmogoyf. See ya. Framed. 1 blue instant. Tap or untap all permanents by the artist of your choice.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I play all chippy lands. This is a storm card right here.
Yeah. The artist credit is Alan. Don't feel like you have to pick me, Polak. The flavor text is, who knew an 8x10 could feel like a 2x4? That's actually pretty clever.
That's good. I like that you're terrified and have to read all the flavor text now.
Well, because it's gonna like insult me next time.
That's so funny.
Here's a black instant. It's called Duh. 1 black instant. Destroy target creature with reminder text. Reminder text is any italicized text in parentheses that explains rules you already know. And there's a post-it note on it. Will players understand that the creature is being crushed by 2 parentheses? Response, not a chance. He is actually being crushed by 2 electric parentheses. Some sort of like weird bird creature.
Awesome.
Yep. Next up we got Goblin Mime. 1 and a red for a 2/2. When you speak, sacrifice Goblin Mime. That's awful. If this was like a 3/3 or like a 4/4, it'd be sweet.
Yeah,
Pretending to be inside an invisible box was easy enough for Brug. It was finding the invisible door that caused him problems. That sounds like a goblin thing to do. Just starve to death inside your invisible box.
I do like the idea of a 3/3 for 2. You know, with one of those drawbacks, can't attack alone. You know, if you speak, sacrifice him.
Yeah, like Mog Flunkies, right?
Yeah, it would be just like Mog Flunkies, but not for a bear. That's atrocious. This is probably a removal spell. Kill, destroy. 1 black, instant. Destroy target non-black creature. With gotcha, whenever an opponent says kill or destroy, you may say gotcha. If you do, return kill, destroy from your graveyard to your hand. That's really good.
Yeah.
This is like a pretty real card.
Mm-hmm.
It's like murder, only you can regrow it anytime they say something. Jesus. Getting gotcha'd again and again. It's a picture of a squirrel with a whole bunch of stuff
Just
coming
getting
at it.
ruined. Poor squirrel.
Poor squirrel.
There's a fork.
It'll never see a thing. Never see it coming.
No, here's a good
Deserve
one.
better.
So
So are we in the uncommons now?
yeah, we're the uncommons.
Oh,
that one
okay.
was an uncommon. Deal damage is another uncommon. Red instant for 2 red. Deal damage deals 4 damage to target creature or player. With gotcha. Oh, this is like this. Is this part of a cycle?
It must be.
Whenever an opponent says deal or damage, you may say gotcha. If you do, return deal damage from your graveyard to your hand. Flavor text is until he got singed, and it's the dude wearing armor with marshmallows
Oh.
that are on fire.
Hmm.
He doesn't look super stoked about it. Ladies' Night, spelled Knight. 3 and a white for another 2/2. Human Knight.
It's like a
Flying,
classic.
which is weird. Spells that players wearing at least one item of women's clothing play cost 1 less to play. Richard Garfield writes the flavor text. I said, put him in a core set, not a corset. And we got there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, this is like the second time we've ripped one
I
of
thought
these.
they were always in them.
Are they?
I thought they were an include.
Oh.
I don't
Maybe it's
know.
like Zendikar where you just
Yeah.
get one full art land every
could
time.
be. But I mean, like, just perfectly sweet. It's like this is actually this is the real reason you open these packs is because they have these sweet full art lands. And
Yeah, we got the planes, yeah.
And there's one more card. It's a not quintuple. What's the one after that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, quintuple.
Quintuple? Okay, it's
Yeah,
a quintuple
fourth
split card.
quadruple.
Who, what, when, where, and why. I gotta go through all 5 of these cards. Who is X and white for an instant. Target player gains X life. What is a red instant, 2 and a red. Destroy target artifact. When, 2 and a blue. Counter target creature spell. Where, 3 and a black. Instant, destroy target land.
Oof.
And why, 1 and a green, destroy target enchantment. This is actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, if this was a real card, it would be bonkers.
Yeah.
Also,
Well-
like 3 and a black instant destroy a land. That's pretty crazy.
I don't know how often you're playing 5-color removal, but
You could play this in like domain.
yeah.
So what's the pick here?
the planes.
Yeah, land.
The pick if you're not money drafting.
I kind of like the card name. Wait. I mean, if
card
you can
name
get the if you
elemental?
can get the combo of the card name elemental and the word mail,
Deal damage seems really good.
Yeah, I think I like deal damage.
Also like kill
kill
destroy.
destroy.
Deal damage is probably better because like it's more flexible.
Yeah.
Puts you into red, which unfortunately means you get this goblin SWAT team and this goblin mime.
Goblin SWAT team seems a lot of fun though.
Could do.
Yeah, I'm gonna block with my goblin SWAT team. Ha! Gotcha.
Haha, idiot. What a weird set. Oh boy. All right, so we have other stuff that we're going to talk about today. I think we're going to. All right, our line was to do a retrospective on our Magic playing careers, like where we started, where we've ended up, and all the goofball territory that we've gone through on the way. So, Serge, you're on the left.
Yeah.
Why don't you start? Just give us a brief.
So I first started playing Magic in elementary school.
I think I did as well.
Yeah. So when I was playing, I can't remember how old I was, but it was like 94, 95. And so when I look back to the beginning of my collection, it was like 4th edition, just outside of revised, some Ice Age, a little bit of Fallen Empire.
All the best sets.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I missed Alpha Beta, so I missed out on like all the money.
Yeah.
I think the treasures of my collection back then were like Nightmare and Royal Assassin.
Royal Assassin was so real.
Oh, yeah.
That card was the nut.
Yeah, for
It's like
a
you tap
colorless
it
black,
and it
black.
kills a creature.
No, it has to be a tapped creature.
No, I know, but it's just like, well, you attack into it and then you're dead.
Yeah, and the art was so good back then too.
Yeah, it's just like, meh.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I remember back then, if you wanted to check out card prices, they had this magazine
Yeah.
that they printed
Right.
about once
Scryer.
a month. Yeah,
Or was it Scried? Or Scryer?
I thought it was Scry.
I thought it was Scried.
Just Scry.
Scry?
Oh, just Scry.
yeah.
There's also Inquest.
Oh, yeah, Inquest. Yeah,
Inquest.
did-
But there
Yeah.
was also like Beckett's, wasn't there?
I
Didn't
don't,
Beckett's do card prices?
I don't even remember.
I had no idea about the secondary market for the longest
Yeah,
time.
so you'd look in the back of this magazine and be like, oh, okay, go through every single card one at a time and find the edition, and then finally get there. Yeah, that was back in the days when you made a deck, you just crammed all of your favorite cards into a deck.
Just like, I'm at like 75 cards. I just can't cut anything.
Yeah, no, I can't cut this triple green spell on my blue-black deck because I love it.
Yeah.
And I've got 4 forests. I'll get there eventually.
No, I mean, like, deck building at the very beginning of your Magic career is always like pretty hilarious because you just like have all these weirdo cards, most of them like from like a starter set. Because this is my 3rd time picking up Magic.
Yeah.
Because
what
I
I'm saying for me.
started like you, sort of back in elementary, and I had no idea what I was doing. I just had some
But it was
cards.
sweet.
I don't actually know if I even played or knew how to play the game, but I was just like, these cards are so cool. I'm gonna trade like these 5/5s for an Ornithopter and feel really, really dirted out by it. And then I sort of fell off that wagon for a while, and then when I was in Europe on a school trip, I picked it up again. And I had some
around
cards.
what age?
Oh,
Or
I
what
was
year?
like-
What set? If you can remember the set.
I'm trying to remember.
Because I remember I stopped playing at the original Portal because the art change and the symbol, and although it's kind of funny, that was the set that came out to try and appeal to new players.
Yeah.
It actually turned me away because it was too different from
That's
the
weird.
stuff I liked.
I'm pretty sure it was still around that sort of Ice Age era because I remember Jesser's Cap being a big deal, and like Icy Manipulator also being a big deal. So then I fell off that bandwagon, and then a few years ago at PAX, I mean, I think we've told this story a bunch of times, there were the free starter decks, and we were bored and in a lineup, and we're just like, let's play Magic.
Yeah.
And here we are now.
Oh wow! No kidding.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, we started playing, and it was like, oh, yeah, this game's really fun. And, you know, then we started. It was really funny because early on, we did the episode of Friday Nights about this, how we tried to sort of implement sort of like purchase restrictions among the friend group so that nobody could get an advantage. And then eventually it just went completely out the window, as it does in the episode. It was really funny. So it was good times. How about you, Cam?
Well, when I started playing, I was... Let's see. I would have started playing around the same time that Serge did. So, about the time that Revised was out, or Unlimited. Because I remember that I had a tropical island.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a tropical island and, like, Birds of Paradise, and... that was about it. That was really about it.
That's really all you need.
Yeah, I think at that age, I'd probably scraped together enough money to buy a couple of starter packs and a couple of boosters. And then as each new expansion had come out, I had found the money to buy a couple of packs when the local comic store could get them because finding Arabian Nights was impossible. I got a couple of packs of antiquities. But then those all vanished, and a couple of packs of legends when that was really expensive, and I dirted out on it. I think I got like Zephyr Falcon.
Oh yeah.
Bad. It's not as bad as we dirted out on that Revised pack and ripped like 5 straight lands.
Oh yeah, that hurt.
I was like, how? How could this
Ow.
happen?
And then like I got really excited because Fallen Empires came out, and there was going to be lots of Fallen Empires available. So I spent a lot of money on Fallen Empires.
Yeah.
And it was
Hey.
terrible.
The worst.
Dude, whatever.
Terrible.
Thalid, man.
Thalids.
Thalid was in Fallen
Thalid tried
Empire.
The Thalid Bowl.
And I still love
Salad bowl.
Actually, no, because Fallen Empires had some totally sweet cards in it because I used to play Merfolk.
Nice. There you go.
Out of my revised cards, I had a play set of Lords of Atlantis.
Actually,
Nice.
pretty good.
Yeah, and I was playing like Merfolk with the Pearl Trident.
Dude,
and
those guys are 2/2s with that guy in play.
yeah, and nothing. Right,
Wah, wah.
like counter spells,
Like actually just
counter spell.
the card.
Yeah,
Ain't got no days. Ain't got
And
no
then, like,
force of will.
See, you
Mahamoti
sound-
Jin, and then like just whatever else I had. I think I was playing like Phantasmal Forces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you sound like you played real decks back then.
Oh no, the decks I played were terrible because in Fallen Empires we got things like Vodalian Knights or Vodalian Soldiers, the Flying Merfolk Knight, which is the first Flying Merfolk, which I guess started that weird thing.
It eventually
The-
just became Moonkin or whatever
They-
those
yeah.
guys are.
They stopped
The river
swimming and
merfolk.
decided to fly instead.
Yeah, the weird river merfolk that you could give Mountain Walk to.
This
And
was
then
before they established the
prize.
color pie.
Oh, yeah,
the
this
The
is
wheel.
prize of my collection, a Vidalian War Machine, where you could tap Merfolk to give it 1/1, and then your opponent would just be like terror, right? And then you'd be like, I hate this game.
That hasn't changed, Cam.
Yeah, no,
Just like, oh man, my totally sweet card. Oh, it got removed.
yeah, and then
I'm
like
gonna tilt.
because I think when Vidalian War Machine died, all your other creatures that had tapped into it died too. So like life was just horrible. And
Yeah.
then Ice Age came out and it didn't have any Merfolk in it, so I'm like, I'm done with this game.
But you know what Ice Age had?
What?
Giant worms.
The biggest worms. Man,
Scaled
do
worm.
you remember how sweet it was, like, early on in your Magic career, looking at these, like, 7, 8, 9 mana spells and, like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Once I slam this thing, you are so dead.
Yeah, no, because that was the other card that I really enjoyed playing with after I got away from Merfolk was Lord of the Pit.
Oh, man.
Lord of the Pit.
Yes, the
Lord of the
original
Pit.
Reanimator.
Lord of the Pit and Breeding Pit.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because you have fuel for
Combo.
him. The sickest
Combos.
combo.
Right?
The Wombo combo. I was like a polar kraken kind of guy.
Yeah. So
It was-
I
it
loved
was so
sacking
good.
creatures. I loved making big guys. You know, it was totally sweet.
Dude, he's a 7/7. He
Yeah,
flies.
how do you
and
come
does
back
he have
from
trample?
that? Yeah, flying trample.
What do you even do? He doesn't go down to terror.
Yeah, no.
You're like 8 lightning bolts.
Can't
It's
lightning.
okay.
8 lightning
It's worth
bolts.
it. Don't worry about it, dog.
Oh.
So we all played originally, and then we all stopped. When did
Yeah.
you get back in? So
Well, okay, sorry, Serge.
No, go ahead.
So I got out around Ice Age because it didn't have Merfolk in it, and I kind of lost interest in the game because I was like 14 or whatever, and decided that this game sucked, and I was getting away from it and doing real things with my life
Ah,
because
the
I
old
was important. And then I came back a few years later for I think Apocalypse because a bunch of my friends got into it.
nice, good time.
And yeah, I thought like the Phyrexians were totally sweet, and I played like this 5-color
explains a
deck
lot.
with all the well, like
The domain stuff?
not the domains. Well, kind of. I played the sanctuaries, like the Seta Sanctuary and Necro Sanctuary, and I just had like this 5-color deck that synergized with itself,
Nice.
and didn't work at all. It didn't do it. Didn't do anything.
I think that's the deck that most of us were doing because, like, you know, when you're sort of early on in your Magic career, like, you're so delighted by all the goofy cards and the interactions, and you just build all these dirtle piles that do nothing but are completely sweet.
yeah.
Oh no, they do something. They do something.
Yeah, they do something, just
Yeah.
not well. It's like my friend who gave me a bunch of his cards. His favorite deck was like 4 copies of Psychic Venom, and then
yeah.
and then a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of icy manipulators. It's like the Wombo combo. You just like put that Psychic Venom on their permanent, and then like tap it every turn for 2 damage. It's like, what do? You're dead.
You have a lot of mana. I'm gonna untap it and then tap it again.
Oh, just the sweetest.
Hateful.
I'm sure. Like, I'm trying to remember some of the like
And then, like,
goofball decks I put together.
The other one was like the Mutagenic Growth Ornithopter deck,
Uh-huh.
right, where you're swinging in on turn 2 with like this 4/4.
Yep.
Oh, was mutagenic growth? No, mutagenic growth is from New Phyrexia.
No, not Mutagenic Growth and Unstable Mutation.
yeah,
Oh,
man.
it gets
Unstable
plus 4
Mutation.
plus
So
4,
good.
and then slowly plus
Yeah.
4 plus 4, and then
So
slowly starts
Yeah.
to eat itself to death.
Yeah.
Also, just like
So that was like the original. That is why in Soul Artifact.
Yeah.
yep.
Welcome
Is-
back. Welcome
yeah.
back, Unstable Mutation.
Welcome back,
We've missed
Unstable
you.
Mutation.
It's good.
You've been leading to the steady disappointment of 13-year-olds for 14 years now,
Yep.
15 years.
It's all about the ornithopter, just a staple in these.
20 years, I guess.
Wow.
It's so weird. Like, almost no matter how bad a card is, if it's free, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of exceptions, but it's just
Like Ornithopter.
Nobody's tried it with
Ornithopter.
Memnite, though. Well, you know, Memnite
It
is...
doesn't fly.
Yeah, but it's a free card, but it just doesn't have the same love as the ornithopter.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like, Memnite went into that quest for the Holy Relic
Oh,
deck.
man. You
where it was
remember
just
that
like,
deck?
Quest for the Holy Relic turn 1? Was it a 1-drop? 1-drop in white?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
just
and then
one
you
white.
just, like, dumped out Ornithopters and Memnites and then went and got Argentum Armor.
Yeah, you did Ornithopters, Memnites, and then it played Glinthawk.
Right.
To bounce your Ornithopter, play it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
For extra quest triggers.
What else was that deck? It had the
It
three-color
played- it
white
was-
enchantment.
it
or
was
the 3-mana
the-
white enchantment called... It gave all your artifact creatures +2/+2. That
Oh,
was like a
that,
real
Tempered-
was,
deck.
that was
no,
a different. That was the
Tempered
Tempered Steel deck.
Well,
this
it
is
played
the-
like 8 of the same cards.
No, this deck played, what was the core guy? It wasn't...
Squadron
It's not
Hawk?
Stormblade. It's not Stoneforge Mystic. It's the guy that equips things.
Sheer Steel Paladin.
No.
No.
Oh.
This is
Oh,
from
I know the one.
Zendikar.
It's a core guy. He's like white.
like core armorer or something.
I think it's core armor
yeah.
or no, core outfitter.
Core outfitter.
That's the
that
one.
was it. Tap to equip.
Not even like when he comes into play.
Oh.
Equip target equipment to target
Let's see.
creature.
Paul, can you give us the official wording on what the guy does?
Yep. When Core Outfitter enters the battlefield, you may attach target equipment you control to target creature you control.
Yeah,
So that's when Ornithopter's good.
Yeah.
when it's wearing Argentum Armor turn 2.
For
You're
free.
just like, I am a mini Emrakul.
Yeah. And you're just
Deal
like,
with me.
I am getting my ass kicked.
Emrakul hasn't even
By an
been printed yet, but I'm
ornithopter.
already afraid.
Just slowly sweep cards into your hand and then into the trash.
Yeah. And then leave the store.
Just
So did you play between your first time and the dual deck at PAX? Was there anything between those experiences for you, Alex?
nothing at all. Like I was just like cold turkey on it.
I
wasn't
another,
even thinking about
I had another come back and leave moment,
Oh yeah.
and that was around original Ravnica.
Oh.
So there's a time in my life where I was a poison gas safety specialist in the oil patch.
I'm
in
sorry,
Alberta.
what?
Yeah, another hat I wore. I was like a professional safety
Wow.
person specializing in poison gas. So I was making a bunch of money, but I was living out of motels and like traveling everywhere. And in this small, it's not that small, but in a town in the middle of Alberta called Red Deer, I rediscovered magic, and it basically kept me from going crazy.
I feel like there's a lot of those sort of remote places. Magic is super popular. Like
Yeah.
my friend Chris Ireland is from. I can never remember the name of the town.
Up Island or something?
No, it's completely gone.
It's fine.
Wait,
The
something
town's gone.
Castle. Fort McMurray. That's the place.
Oh, he's from
it's from
Fort
Fort
Mac.
yeah, he's from Fort
Okay,
Mac, and he's just
okay.
like everybody plays Magic there because there's
Yeah.
nothing else to do.
Well, it's like I don't drink, and I had to turn to some kind of vice
Right?
to just like give all my money to buy happiness, and so that was magic cards, and it was right around original Ravnica, and I kind of dove into standard anytime I was in town. I had an opportunity to play, and I played through Ravnica and Future Sight, and that's when like Dragonstorm was a force in standard.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, so that was
That was
really
a real deck?
Oh, Dragonstorm was like a force in standard for a while. That's why they brought
Really?
it back. It was kind of like normal storm decks. You
It's
know,
just all regular rituals, only instead of
turn 2 or turn
tendrils,
3.
it's like dragons.
Yeah, and it would play. I think it's Boggart and Hellkite. And when it comes
Okay,
into play, it
okay.
deals 5 damage.
Oh,
so
the
storm
nut.
count up to 4. Dragonstorm, get 4 of these guys. Dome
And
you out
just-
for 20.
Right. So it's kind of like, so it's both Empty the Warrens and Grape Shot.
Yeah, I mean it's not as elegant as
It's like
Legacy
empty
Storm,
the mountains.
but
Yeah.
it had. I think there's like the God Hand could kill you on turn 1.
What?
But it was pretty consistent, like turn 3 or turn 4 if you didn't
Well,
mess
because
around
it's
with
like
stuff.
it's like mountain ritual.
This is also
Dragonstorm.
when Dredge was in standard with
Right.
Golgori
Yeah.
Grave Troll and stuff like that. So
It's
like
funny you mentioned that. I'll get to
yeah,
that
yeah,
later.
yeah. So it was an interesting time to be a home brewer because I've never been a net decker, so I
Yeah.
just kept trying to screw around with stuff like that. And then right around when Time Spiral was finishing up, and unfortunately I didn't get any goifs at the time, which was too
Aw.
bad. But I stopped
180
playing
bucks
again
now?
for a while. Yeah. And you want to know what card got me back into Magic cards? You can take a guess. This is my absolute favorite Magic card printed ever in the history of Magic.
It's not Tabernacle. That must be a new one.
It's a new card. It's a new card.
I don't know.
Cam, can you guess what my favorite ever card in the history of Magic is?
New card. Let's see. You came back around Phyrexia, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
No, I got nothing.
I'll give you a hint.
What?
It's a blue 1-drop creature.
Delver?
No. Hedron Crab.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. Right.
Oh,
yeah.
it was
yeah.
so obvious. I can't
Yeah.
believe
Yeah,
I didn't
okay,
think
yeah.
of that.
Can we just talk about how perfect the art is on that card?
I love it. So I have, we all have a really good friend named Kendall who does custom alterations.
Oh, yeah.
And I got her to do a play set of Hedron Crabs for me where the tide is coming in and out and they are just stunning. And
Yeah,
they're
it
like,
looks really good.
They are the prize of my collections, and I made a modern deck around them. And I love that card so much. I was just walking by YJ, and I was like, you know what? I'll swing in. I want to see what happens. And I'm perusing the case because like, look at all these cards I've never seen before. And my eye catches the Hedron Crab. I'm like, okay, what's this? Wait, landfall. Whenever I play what? I can mill people just by playing lands? I'm like, does anybody else? Have you read this card? This thing is amazing. And people are like, no,
Printed
no,
in
calm
a
down.
set with snaps.
And I'm like, no, you
sorry,
don't.
fetch lands.
I'm like, you don't understand how cool this card is. And everyone's like, this guy's crazy.
So
yeah.
real.
No. I loved Hedron Crab too, and I was playing it in a deck with Blood Chief Ascension.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm really bad at this game, but in some universe these cards go together.
Yeah. I mean,
Man,
if Hedron Crab was a 2/2, it'd be a god.
Yeah.
I tried making
Or if it was
Blood
a
Chief
snapping
Ascension
turtle.
work as well. Yeah, it's just like convertible turtle.
Yeah. And like Tar Pit was in that deck as well.
The
and it should have
Creeping
just
Tar
been
Pit?
like Creeping Tar Pit,
Yeah.
when it should have
Well,
just been like
what a
Blood
great
Chief Ascension
man
and
land.
Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, see, because
Right.
I think Zendikar was when I came back most recently and have basically stayed there. And like that was such a good set. Like that
Oh,
whole
yeah, it was totally
like
sweet.
Zendikar Rise.
Hedron Crab got me to play
World
Standard.
Yeah. And I think that's another stage that we've all gone through where we come back and we go into Standard. Because Standard,
Yeah, it's
I don't know,
like, well,
for me, the
F&M.
attraction to Standard was, well, F&M, so there's always games. And it also felt elegant because there's a very limited card pool and you're working with a limited palette.
Yeah.
And that felt like an interesting challenge to me.
No, it's
But-
definitely like you start off, brewing your decks, and then you're like, you know what, maybe I can actually take this to the next level and like
Yeah.
build something good. And like, yeah, you can go to F&Ms and like you throw together a deck. And I played Mono Red for a while.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that deck was cool with like
Yep.
plated Geopede and
yeah,
Kiln Fiend. and
it was Geopede, Kiln Fiend,
Probably
Goblin
had Shrine
Guide.
of Burning
Yeah.
Rage at that time.
I used to
like
play
the Falter Land.
Yeah, no, there.
Oh,
yeah.
Teetering Peaks
Teetering,
was at
either
that
Teetering
time.
Peaks or Smoldering Spires.
Oh, man. Teetering Peaks and plated Geopede. So OP.
It was so
Yeah.
gross.
Oh.
And
like-
Koth.
Koth
Koth was in that
the
deck.
hammer.
Jared
Back when he was $40.
Jared pointed out something really interesting, that Koth of the Hammer, the initials Koth of the Hammer,
Is
or
Koth.
Koth,
Yeah, it's a
is
backronym.
Koth again.
Yeah.
What's that called? A backronym?
No, sorry,
Really
it's not. What is it? An acrostic acronym?
I, whatever you call it, I'm going to believe you.
It's
can.
an acrostic.
Okay,
Sorry.
perfect.
Yeah.
I used
for those,
to play
For those of you who are familiar
in
with
that list. What was it called? Devastating Summons.
Oh,
with-
yeah.
With
Right.
And
Goblin...
Shrapnel Blast?
No, not Shrapnel Blast. Even better than that.
Man Knight.
No, Goblin Bushwhacker.
Oh, okay.
So you get your lands, you float all your mana,
Yeah.
you play Devastating Summons followed by like sack all your lands, make 2 like 4/4s or 5/5s, and then play this Bushwhacker and like fight for lethal. It was so all in, but so sweet.
Yeah. Well, I think the takeaway here for all of us is that we've always, the three of us at least, have always been kind of homebrew
Yeah.
deck builders.
Yeah.
Because these are all environments where there has been a correct deck to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
really
that's the
disheartening.
thing with like most constructed formats is it's just like at the end of the day you're sort of net decking or you're losing.
Yeah.
I-
But
but
we still like brewing
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like
I have my best deck building story moment ever.
oh yeah.
This is when Cobblade was destroying everyone.
Oh, yeah. I
Squadron
think that's
Hunk.
what got me out
Squadron
of
Hunk.
standard at
Yeah.
that time.
Squadron Hawk.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know why. I had so much. There's so much pain associated with that card. I couldn't even pronounce it properly. Caca. Paw Blade. So
I'm a shuffle effect.
this card was destroying everyone, and I really wanted to play my Hedron Crab. So I just kind of put Hedron Crabs, this mill package, into a Squad Hawk, and I think I tried to call it Mill Blade.
Mill Blade.
Yeah.
So it was like four of the Crab, 4 of Squadron Hawk because it just blocks forever, 4 of Archive Trap. Now Archive
Right.
Trap
that
is
was
a
such a
great
sweet
free
combo.
card that anytime they search, you get to mill them for 13. And this is when Squad Hawk was running around. This is when all the fetch lands were there. Do we call them fetch lands or snap lands?
Well, everybody except us calls them fetch lands. We call them snaps
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make
or
sure.
snap lands.
It's a local colloquialism.
It's a weird
Yeah.
local
Yeah.
thing.
And at the same time, Splinter Twin was in Standard.
Oh, right.
When all this was going down. So Splinter Twin always wanted to search for stuff as well. So this mill deck I thought was really well positioned. You could play Preordain. You had access to timely reinforcements and not Wrath of God. What was the less good Wrath of God? Day of Judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had this really good shell, and I'm trying to figure out how to work it, and everyone's like, this deck is terrible, and I'm like, I won't give up on my dream. The crabs are going to be real.
The crabs are real.
And then one day somebody shows up and they're like, Serge, look at this, and there's this list on MTG Online.
Was this the modern list or just the?
This is
the
a
extended?
standard list, and
Oh.
it was my deck minus 10 cards. They had put more fetch lands in, and they had put a little bit more cantrips to make it more consistent. And it was just like a more tuned version of my list. Everything I was asking people to help me with, somebody made, and it won. And I was like, wait.
Well, that's the thing with brewing is that like somebody has to try the like audacious like lists that are stupid.
It's not stupid.
Well, no, okay, you know what I mean. that are goofy and outrageous and
Yeah.
like trying something new and going outside the box. And it's like, that card's terrible. Why would you ever play it? And then it like top eights and they're like, oh, I guess this list is real.
Yeah.
Well, like
So, you know, I think we all want to be that person who comes up with the new deck that everybody like starts.
right.
brewing
Well, I
into.
remember when Mono Black first started being a thing in Standard, and people were really angry that it was playing commons. Like
Really?
Gray Merchant, this
Oh,
trash.
Gary's so
yeah.
good.
Gary's so good.
Yeah, but people were actually upset that it was playing like
Why?
draft commons, right?
That's such a weird thing to be mad
Mm-hmm.
about. It's like, because it's kind of nice whenever there's a deck that isn't just a giant pile of rares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Standard, like that, I think that's what Standard just winds up being a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's usually just like, what are the best rares in
Two
one
color
or two,
good
one
stuff.
or two
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah,
Mono-
where it
mono
was
rare.
like where Cobblade actually wound up kind of incidentally having a lot of interesting interactions, despite just being a pile of the best cards in Standard.
Yeah, it was-
Well,
it was a pile
after
of
they
best
banned
cards.
after they banned Stoneforge and Jace the Mind Sculptor and
yeah.
sort of opened it up, right?
But yeah,
Yeah.
the thing is that like when that deck was around, it wasn't just the best cards. It was also like the best cards that had a lot of synergy with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jace with shuffle effects.
Yeah,
Jace-
because they had fetch lands. I mean, that's the staple in Legacy.
Well,
Yeah,
not
and
just not just fetch lands, but Squadron Hawk and
Stoneforge.
like,
It's a-
Preordain.
Yeah.
it's
Oh
like-
man.
Oh yeah.
So
it's
much
like
value.
Stoneforge finding, you know, a sword to give to a bird.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just like, it used to be sort of body and mind that would kill you.
That's what I used in the mill deck. Is
Yeah.
you
Sort
put
of.
I thought it was Feast and Famine that.
Feast and Famine because you
Because-
Feast
untap
and
so you
Famine
can
came
mana
later,
leak
but I
up.
think
Yeah.
Body
yeah.
and Mind was a little dirtily. That's the one I played in my mill deck. Because something about Hedron Crab, it's not a defender. It can carry a sword. One
Yeah.
in each claw, guys. One in each claw.
dual wielding
Oh,
sword.
yeah, straight
well,
up.
I mean, like
That
sometimes
crab will fight you.
Kraken Hatchling just has to strap on trusty machete and get in there, right?
Yep. Oh, trusty machete. It's like Bone Splitter, only slightly worse.
Worse in every conceivable metric.
Well, it's because Bone Splitter's kind of busted.
Wait, does that have Raymond Swanland art?
Does it?
It does. Trusty Machete has art by Raymond Swanland.
It's pretty cool.
I like that you can tell that from here, Cam. Your dedication to artists is phenomenal.
Raymond Swanland's
I-
pretty distinctive.
I love Magic artwork.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cards that, like... there's a lot of cards that are actually, like, awful sometimes. And their art is so good.
Like
The best
Fires
is
of
when...
Undeath, Flames of Undeath.
Oh, it looks so cool, and it's
Yeah,
the
it's
worst
just-
shock ever printed.
Yeah.
Is that the one that they turned into a playmat because the art was so
Yeah.
gorgeous?
Yeah.
I have that playmat. I think Cam has it as well.
No, I bought it and then I kept getting rid of it because I felt weird about using it.
Yeah.
Because it's like lollygoth playmat, and I'm
You're
like,
just like, that's
Yeah.
a little... Yeah, oh well.
but like
wow.
it's really pretty. Like the composition on it is so good, and the saturation of the colors on the playmat is amazing.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It's so good.
If anyone wants to send me that playmat, I will play with it.
Yeah, I am definitely have a lot of Vorthos, at least as far as the art is concerned. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, oh man, these cards look sweet. I'm also like really, really OCD about like actual card selection, like in regards to what set it's from.
Yeah.
Because like earlier on in my Magic career, I wouldn't care what printing it was. It's actually weird. I've come like full circle in card printings that I like, because at the beginning I was like all about the modern borders. It's like I didn't, it's like whatever the card was, it's like I wanted the modern border. Like I didn't like the old borders, and I would end up getting cards from like the dual decks and from like event things and just like the plane chase cards.
Right.
And then I just sort of like very slowly flipped, and I was like, these cards are really ugly. It's weird because like a lot of the sort of like promo dual deck, plane chase kind of things, there's something weird about the printing for those decks that it's slightly worse.
Like they're too glossy, or the colors are too dark, or something's
Or
off.
they're too light.
But like, yeah, like I don't know. Whenever I've found the card that I'm looking for, and I look at it, and the watermark or the
set mark,
the set mark is like plane chase, or like
You just feel so
duels,
dirty.
or it's like, oh, this was almost it, but no, I can't play this one, because like the terror is there that you'll be like playing in some kind of tournament, right, up against somebody from SCG, and you'll resolve like your bomb, and they'll look at it and go, wait a minute, this card set Marcus from Plane Chase, and everyone just turns around and stops, and it's like, Plane Chase?
And then you're just like dragged away.
Yeah.
There are legitimate bombs though that are only printed in those sets,
Well,
like Toxic Deluge.
Yeah.
They've gotten better about it. Like the new
Yeah.
commander sets actually have like half decent printing.
Oh,
but,
I
like,
mean,
some of the first ones look like poo.
What's that Merfolk that just is the terror
Oh,
legacy
yeah,
right
the
now?
True Name.
True Name Nemesis. I mean, they
Yeah.
have printed some incredible cards in there. Just so we don't, all of a sudden send everyone spec buying an SCG to pick up OG versions of everything.
Yeah. But like,
No, I understand. I've gone
Yeah.
through foil collections, and you're flipping through the dollar foils, and you're like, oh man, foil compulsive research. Modern Masters.
yeah.
Modern Masters isn't so bad because like it's a real set.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like the promo like all foil sets, like the Fire and Lightning and like Graveborn.
Graveborn.
I'm just
Yeah.
like,
The only thing I wanted out of
don't like
Graveborn is the new Cabal Therapy.
the art looks
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, like unless the art is somehow like really cool.
Yeah, like
I'm-
occasionally I will
Like, you have a-
get it because like I've got these City of Brasses.
Cities
and
of Brass.
Cities of Brass. Cities of Brass. Are you okay?
Where do you,
Cameron?
where
I'm
do you
fine.
where do you pluralize it? I have City of Brasses.
I don't know.
Cities of Brass.
Cities of
Like,
Brass. These cities upon cities made of brass, and
It's a dumb idea.
I had the option to get either revised or Modern Masters, and I was like, give me the black border.
Nah, dog. Arabian Nights.
Well, those ones are like $30 each, and they didn't have any. Like if money was no object, absolutely I would get the Arabian Nights ones, but
Yeah, and
this
okay,
will do for now because
you know
it's
what?
sweet art.
You know what? Also in Modern Masters, I'm going to step out of the closet here
Uh-oh.
proudly and say the Modern Masters art of Bob. Just better. just
Engineered
better.
Explosives had really good art.
Yeah, like the original printing, I get it. I get the attachment, dude. No.
That's
Just
pretty funny.
no.
I respectfully disagree. But no, actually
I'm not
I-
taking 2 damage from this guy.
I actually like both.
Yeah.
Like Zorg from accounting and Bob from accounting. I have a Bob right here.
Wait, Zork? I don't understand.
Zorg from because he looks like Zorg from Fifth Element.
Yeah, he looks like shockingly like Zorg
Really?
from Fifth
I
Element.
never made that connection.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Where's my Bob? Where's my Bob?
Yeah,
I
Dark
thought
Confident.
I thought you sold him.
Nope. I still haven't. I probably just like flipped right past it. That's gonna like freak me out if I go through my whole Highlander deck and it's like, Bobby.
We've play tested a lot. I haven't
Where
seen
you at,
Bobby
dog?
in ages.
Uh-oh.
I mean, you keep doming me out with your
I should count my
Demon
deck
of Dreams.
sometime. Because I have like others, but it's like if
This is awkward.
it is
Yeah.
awkward. Just like on the podcast, find out that my Dark Confidant's missing. That would be a drag. What was I gonna say? There was something I was gonna say. I don't remember what it
Check
was.
your maybe board.
But
Ruh-roh.
like, I mean, I understand
Uh-oh.
that art is a subjective thing.
We'll check after.
Preferences are subjective, but I like the new printing one, and I respect other people's opinions on it. But I like it better, and I think it's important to come out and say that.
Yep.
So I'm making a stand.
Well,
I'm unashamed. I'm through defending myself on this.
so yeah, we all went through sort of standard, and then we've sort of ended up in various other formats. Like I think all of us have sort of like gone a little bit further towards some of the like more eternal formats. You're still
Yeah.
playing standard and like
Well, I haven't played
League
standard
and
in a
stuff.
really long time. I will occasionally throw together a standard deck and show up and get like raffle stomped by whatever like 40% of the field is playing. Last time I tried playing and I lost a Maze's End.
Oh man.
I lost a Maze's End with like this
That
what I thought was a
feels bad.
blue-white heroic deck that should have been okay.
Did I
But it was
ever
just
tell
like
you?
turbo fog and it was such a miserable experience.
Did I ever tell you of why I stopped playing standard?
No.
Well, I'm a home brewer, and I showed up. This would have been still around the Phyrexia time. I think Zendikar just left.
Right.
And there was a 4-mana blue sorcery for 3 colorless and a blue, and you sacrificed an artifact, and then you searched your library until you found another artifact and put it directly into play. Can you remember what that was called?
Shape anew.
Shape Anew. I made a Shape Anew deck. It was a blue-white control shell with a transformative sideboard into a combo deck. And you played Blade Splicer. You
Yeah.
played Master's Call. All these things that would create artifacts that didn't
Yeah.
actually have anything there. And then you'd Shape Anew into Blightsteel
Blightsteel.
Colossus. And it was amazing. And I was beating real Magic players. I say real Magic players just as a slight against myself. And then one day I'm sitting there playing Standard, and I turn for Shape Anew into a Blightsteel Colossus, and I'm like, my deck is doing its thing. This is beautiful. Nothing is more satisfying to the home brewer than when your baby is coming together. That's
Yeah.
awkward. I can't think of a better way to say that. And
when the machine works.
and I'm playing against the stereotypical 13-year-old hates you kid who you occasionally encounter at F&M. And the kid on a turn is like, oh, tragic slip, give it -11, -11.
Oh,
Which is fair enough, you know,
Yeah,
that is a
like that.
legitimate answer.
But you
and
just,
then
like,
and I was
feels
like
bad, man.
okay, so the feels, my heart hurts. And then I can't remember the exact words because it was a traumatic experience, but he's kind of like, how does it feel?
wow.
You know, just
So cold.
just something like something like
heartless.
that. I'm like, pardon, and he just basically calls me a casual scrub or something like that. And then I'm like, cool. And I just remember kind of like walking to the counter and then being like, hi, I'd like to sell my Standard, just
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
It's like any card that was printed in Standard, I would like to give you, and I'm going to go invest in Eternal formats. Thank you, GG.
Yeah.
Teardrop.
And then,
Like-
and then just watching this one tear just roll down my face, and just like, no,
Just like formats that this stupid kid can't afford. You hurt my feelings.
Well, like I played not a similar deck, but I played like Grand Architect with like Treasure Mage searching for Cage of the Sun or Cage Sun, and then going into hard casting Blightsteel,
oh yeah.
and then while also giving them like, you know, a couple of Wormcoil engines or
play
whatever
with
to
in the
chew
meantime,
on,
yeah.
right? Like here, gnaw on this for a while. I'm gonna go find my WinCon, and that was sweet. It felt good. It felt good, and it wasn't good. It was not good. It was not a good deck, but it was cool, and I liked it. And it didn't hurt anyone, and it wasn't doing anything wrong to anybody, and
Yeah.
people laughed at me. And it sucked.
It hurts.
That's always the one that feels bad. It's just like I keep wishing for like a somewhat competitive,
Yeah.
like a taken seriously format where there is like tons of room for innovation.
Yeah.
And it's like you have
Highlander.
Legacy.
yeah, it's like Legacy's a little like that. It is still like kind of there are the archetypes, but there's so many of them.
Yeah.
It's not like you're playing this net deck or the net deck that beats that net deck, or you're losing.
Yeah,
You
the
know, it's
old,
like
the
something
old
like
Friday night joke
Legacy.
of Cobblade.
And to kind of a greater degree, Highlander, it's just like, which one of these like 5 dozen viable lists do you want to play, and which version? Because like you can screw around with the actual proportions in the lists, and it'll be like that's not actually the wrong choice to do. So there's a little more wiggle room for coming up with like weird answers and weird cards. Like I think Highlander is probably the most creative format that I've played so far, because it's like, what cards do you want to play?
Yeah.
And you can put in those pet cards and still win games. And
Everyone has a pet card in the deck.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many pet cards. What are my pet cards in this deck?
Well, right now we were talking about it before we started. Twisted Abomination.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I've got this. It's not. I can't call it a mono black control list, but it's mostly black, splashing white. And I've got Twisted Abomination. Early game, it's a great tutor. It can find Scrubland or Godless Shrine. Because it says find a swamp, not a basic swamp. It land tutors really well for my white splash. Or if I draw it late game, I'm like, sick, 5/3 with Generate.
Yeah, for one black,
Yeah.
right? Just how do you get rid of this guy?
you can do a lot with one black. Like, there's some just random cards that I picked out of my Highlander deck here, like Suffer the Past.
Oh, yeah. So
I've got
good.
a foil version of this somewhere.
Sweet.
Do you want it?
No, I actually I got out of collecting foils.
Huh.
Actually,
You
like
got
I've
out
been
of goblins,
defoiling
yeah.
my decks. I've got this Unearth, which is so cool. This card is so nuts.
What's that stupid 3-drop that keeps blowing up my lands?
Yeah, that's the combo. Well, it's not a combo. It's just like value. Fulminator Mage. Play that guy, blow up your land, unearth him, blow up another land. Feel like a pile of garbage. I'm playing like Blackmail here because like it's not Thoughtseize, but it hits lands.
Yeah. You're like, okay, I want to have 6 1-drop hand attack spells, and there's only 3 good ones. Okay.
But I can play 5 or 7.
Yeah. Are you playing Appetite for Brains?
No, it's bad.
Oh, wow. Just straight bad.
Yeah, just straight back.
Boom.
I've tried to move away from saying that to other deck builders, because
Yeah,
I've had my feelings crushed so many times as a deck builder, especially because of my reputation as like a super rogue deck builder. When
Yeah.
people are like, man, that card's trash, or like, are you drunk?
It's
And
like
you're I hate your face.
sometimes you're right, but it's just like you don't want to hurt people's feelings.
No.
Unless they're playing something really stupid.
Regardless of what you're going to play, regardless of anything you play, my tips for deck making, I try and pick a theme and be consistent with the theme. I don't care
Yeah.
what you play, and think of your curve, and bigger broad strokes, other than like, this card is stupid and I think you're dumb because you like it.
No,
Because
you're
I get that like weekly. pretty much.
incorrect.
Just play Jund.
Just play
Just play Jund. No, okay. If you're going to get into this format, I recommend you just play Jund. Get Jund together and play it.
my deck.
Yeah. Get familiar with it. And then you can start playing with anything else.
Oh man.
It's like, that deck is $4,000.
For a start. But yeah, Serge is absolutely right. It's just like, irrespective of what you want to build a deck for, it's like kitchen table magic, standard, whatever, just like playing with friends, commander. There's like a couple of general purpose rules that will actually work for you, because you can play cards that they're not the best cards you could play, but maybe they're the ones you can afford, the ones you really like,
Hold a soft
the
spot
ones
in your
the ones
heart.
that you have a soft
Yeah.
spot for, and you should play them
Yeah.
because this game's for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're
Well-
having fun, you're doing it right.
Well, okay.
Let's see it, Cam.
Let's talk about this, because I've decided to build a standard deck,
Oh boy.
and I'm breaking all kinds of rules in here because my collection right now is based on, kind of having drafted cards. So I've got a lot of one-ofs of decent things, but not a lot of play sets.
Okay.
So what I am playing to deal with this... Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for this, Internet?
Oh, girl.
Disciple of Deceit.
I don't actually know what that does.
No, because it's a bad card. Disciple of Deceit is green-black, or blue-black, for a 1/3.
It's got big butts.
Yeah, with a inspired trigger, which means whenever it untaps, you get this ability: discard a non-land card. If you do, search your library for a card with the same converted mana cost, reveal it, and put it into your hand. It gives
Like,
everything.
how rad is that?
It gives everything in your deck transmute, which is sweet because it finds like I'm just playing 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops, and 4-drops in this deck, and I'm playing like one of Whip of Erebos, one of Jace, Architect of Thought, one
Master
of like
Waves?
yeah, there are 2 of Master of Waves. I'm playing Duskmantle Seer, Bad Bob,
I love
Bad
it. I
Santa.
love it. Bad Santa.
That guy actually makes me really happy.
Yeah.
I really
And then,
want
like-
to make a deck around him.
Yeah, so did I. And then I didn't, but it's okay still. And then, like, the thing that made me really happy in Standard is they have Evolving Wilds in the same Standard environment as Deathrite Shaman.
It's so sweet and so dirtily.
Are you
I love
playing
it.
that?
Bad
One of-
Standard versions of Legacy combos.
Right?
Are you playing like a 1 of green source, just to exile creatures, or?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, getting things out of the library, and I'm playing, like, Elixir in this because I wind up, like, throwing
get
away half
bottled.
my deck. Yeah, but it always finds what it needs because I've got, for the heroic ability, I've got
I like it.
Springleaf Drum, so I can tap it for mana to get into my green splash.
Yeah.
Sick.
And then
Also-
Triton Tactics.
How
because
sweet does
why
it
not?
feel winning against like an established list with your pet cards?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Well, 'cause
even one game, you're just
Yeah.
like, I got there.
I like
I did it.
usually what I find is that I build a deck and it wins in game 1 because nobody's quite certain what
They're like,
it's
what is
doing.
this?
And then loses game 2 and 3 because it gets sideboarded into, right?
How do they know
and
what to
then
sideboard?
You don't. Nobody can. The games I've played, people have not been able to really successfully sideboard against this deck. So, like, it loses a lot in 3, but it also wins in 3. Like, I can usually put together a 3 and 2 with this deck,
Nice.
and that feels nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good,
There's.
but
it's sweet.
Yeah, and it puts games together, and it has kind of a lot of interesting plays. And I'm also playing, like, my 3-drops are. I'm also just playing some good cards in this because I'm playing 3 of Dissolve.
Well, you're not a
3 of
complete
Hero-
ham sandwich.
Yeah, 3 of Dissolve, 3 of Heroes, or 4 of Dissolve, both Heroes Downfalls that I have because I'm not putting money into a standard deck, and 4 of Nightveil Spectre because I just picked up a bunch of them drafting Ravnica.
I really
Right,
want to
so-
get one of those guys.
Yeah, so I can always have like a threat or a counter or a removal spell.
Yeah.
Right, depending on what I need, and that
Nice.
feels like that's kind of flexibility. It's
Yep.
like
Yep. There's a lot to be said about going to any tournament and 3 and 2ing or 2-2ing,
Yeah.
depending on how big it is. Like, yeah, props to that. That's a good afternoon. You know, you won some games, you lost some games, you played some Magic, you got out of the house. Like, awesome.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in. So many people, and what are they? The spikes. You know, you
Well,
see.
like hard spike.
Yeah, they go to F&M and they're like 0-1 drop, and they're like,
Yeah.
if I'm not
Like-
gonna win, I'm out.
yeah.
It's
also-
like, sure, okay, but why? Like, don't you want to play Magic?
Yeah, I want to play with cards that I like.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, here's
also,
the next one. Let's see it.
Here's the secret tech.
Oh, that card's so
Far and
good.
away.
Far and away is so good.
Yeah, because you can tutor it up as either a 2 or a 3-drop, or pitch it as either a 2 or a 3-drop.
The nut.
I
Yeah,
really wanted to make a
right?
bug. I really wanted to make a bug Highlander list around the Duskmantle Seer, around Far and Away, and
Yeah.
like yeah,
There's some sweet
And you
cards
can
in this
do
deck.
that.
Yeah.
Deathrite, Bob, Pain Seer.
And then, like, I mean, this deck doesn't do the mono blue devotion deck of like Master of Waves for 7 elementals into Cloudfin Raptor, making it like an 8/8, right? But it plays Master of Waves because
Why not?
I had
cool.
2 of them.
You should
So
get
why
that
not?
squid in there.
Oh yeah, but I never draw cards.
Oh.
I kind of incidentally draw cards, and I'm always shuffling, so even scrying isn't
Every day
great.
I'm
Except
shuffling.
with Duskmantle Seer, like it non-bows itself. It totally non-bows itself because I play like Thassa to scry 1.
Sometimes you just gotta non-bow yourself. Like, back when I was playing this mono black list with Tombstalker, like that joke we made in Friday Nights
Oh yeah.
was actually part of my list. That's
Oh, the
why we
Dome
made that joke.
Stalker.
Yeah,
You're just like, what do you got for me, Bobby? Oh, 8 to the face.
Yeah. What do you, Bobby? What you got?
Oh.
Death.
Oh no. I chose poorly.
Yeah.
It's
But
probably
hey,
still worth playing.
yeah, Tombstalker and Bob both good cards.
Yep. It's just like maybe keep them a little
A little apart.
segregated.
Maybe you want to run Viscerus here.
Well, it's
I don't
like
know.
I play Urborg and Choking Sands,
Mm-hmm.
which is a harsh non-bow.
Yeah.
It's like Choking Sands is a land destruction spell that blows up a non-swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And
Urborg, the Tomb of
sorry,
Yawgmoth.
Urborg, the other Urborg, the good one. Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth makes all land swamps.
Yeah.
And you play it because it makes all your colorless sources tap for black.
Mm-hmm.
And this other one's good because it like domes people if you blow up a non-basic.
Like in a 100-card deck, what are the
Yeah.
chances?
Yeah.
And you
It's
don't
just
have to play both of them, right?
Well, yeah, it's just like, the best play with that one is you blow up their non-basic and kill their planeswalker that's at 2. And
Right.
it's like,
Does it do 2 damage?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
just, cards that are fun and good and fun.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then we occasionally win games too.
As every once in a while, I will win
Yeah.
a game.
I will consistently 2-2 Highlander.
Yeah, I was in
And-
the 3-1 bracket
Yeah.
in Highlander for a long time, and then I haven't played at the tournament.
Yeah.
I just pick up casual games with people. I think that's that's sort of where I'm at right now is like I play pretty competitive lists in casual settings. Like I'll just sit
Yeah.
down with somebody and just grind out a bunch of games.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have like a 5-game or a 5-match F&M in me. Right.
sometimes
It's
the
August,
tournament is just
it's 35 degrees
exhausting.
in the store.
Oh yeah, it gets so hot in there. It's so much better to go there like mid-afternoon when there's nobody there. You just like hang out. You know, you're playing casually. You can
See
do
who
all the
shows
slot
up.
plays. There's nothing on the line, and you're just like, you totally got me, or like, I wasted you. It's sweet.
Yeah.
So
And like, where was I going with this? I was going someplace good with this, but I've forgotten. But yeah, point is, homebrew. Feel good about it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Get brewing.
Homebrew, do it. Feel good
Yeah.
about it. It's fun,
Yeah.
and like,
If you have a friend who's a home brewer, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
don't be a dick to them.
Is
It's like,
is
you know
this
what?
the
Let them have this.
Yeah. Is this the care for homebrewing episode?
For homebrewing.
And
How to
no.
care for a
Very
home brewer?
importantly, if you sit across from somebody at F&M and they're playing a homebrew, don't be a dick.
I think just generally don't be a dick, but it's also just like, why would you do that? You know, it's just like, just let them live their dreams.
You know what? Once also, I was playing across from a guy who was playing Cobblade, and he fate sealed me with Jace, and he looked at the top card of my library, which was Glitter Point Stag,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he looked at it and was like, I don't actually know what you're playing at here, but I'm going to leave this on top.
Nice. Just like, show me.
Yeah. Because that was my Venser deck.
Yeah, Glimmer Point Stag, sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good.
The cards.
Because I was also playing, like, the Oracle guy who was like, let's see what's on the cube. Right?
Oh yeah, that guy's so cool.
Yeah.
Remember when he was a thing?
No.
No,
I do.
I don't even know what card you're talking about.
Seagate Oracle.
Seagate
Oh,
Oracle.
Seagate
yeah.
Yeah,
Oracle's
he's just
so
like,
good.
what's on the cube?
Yeah, well, like, he's
that's-
obviously, like, what he's
okay.
doing
We're
is
talking
he's
about the
Skyping
art.
with, what's her name? The Merfolk looter. The leveling
Oh,
Merfolk.
blah 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 blah. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I know
but
the one
she's,
you- I know the
she's
exact
also
card you're
looking
talking-
at a cube, right? She's like,
Are they
come
just
on,
They're
talking
just
Doc.
back
like
and forth?
long distance relationship.
Are they in the
It's like-
same set, or is it
Yeah,
like
they're in the
across
same
different
set.
planes? It'd be amazing. It's like, what are you doing? Well, Ravnik is kind of hard.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I like to think that
Love
those two are
you.
Skyping.
That's really
Right.
cute.
Huh.
I ship it.
Yeah.
Oh man. So like, what are
Yeah.
we all playing now? Now,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we sort of mentioned it.
I'm playing Storm and Modern.
Wait, what?
Storm and Modern.
Go on.
Grape Shot. But I'm playing it with Telling Time. I'm playing it with Telling Time and Reach Through Miss.
Sweet.
Or Peer Through Depths. The one where you look at top 5. Put one in your hand.
I think that's pure. I don't know.
That is
Peer
super
Through Depths.
cool.
Whatever.
I'm not-
I know what it is. I've got a bunch of foil ones. And it's a sweet deck.
I put together Manaless Dredge for Legacy.
Sick.
It's also sweet, and I also have like a side pile of cards that turn it into regular Dredge.
Yeah, that deck is so fun.
It's pretty fun to play. It's really fun to goldfish. It's also like I have all the cards I need to play that deck except for the 4 Lion's Eye Diamond, which I'm not gonna buy because
Yeah.
our local legacy scene allows proxies, and I only need 4
Yeah.
proxies.
Yeah.
Which I-
well, I mean, like
feels
in
good
the
to have a whole
non-sanctioned
deck.
events, right?
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah, 3 nights of the week they do proxy legacy, and they have 1 night of the week sanctioned
The
legacy.
world's cheapest
Yeah.
legacy
Actually, I
deck.
think Legacy might be best format. I mean,
I suspect that it is.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
if we're talking,
Any deck that lets you play 4 Brainstorm, I think is best format.
That aside, it's just the amount of, like Alex was talking about before, the amount of variety in the metagame, I think, is what's really appealing.
Yeah, and like Legacy has that in spades. Like, there's always, a bunch of decks near the top, but there's not like this is the deck that wins all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's like 6 decks that are always just like fighting, and then the sort of like underdogs still also have a perfectly good chance. It's like Dredge's success in that meta is based on how much hate there is or isn't in the format.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it can just come out of left field, crush everyone, and they'll be like, well, shit,
Now we need
needs
to alter
more
our
Tormod
sideboards.
script.
Well,
Yeah.
Dredge is this hilarious deck. It like rolls in, and you're like 95% going to just like roll them game 1, and in game 2 they're like, huh, do I have 8 cards of graveyard hate in my deck?
I win.
You're like, okay, GG, win in 3, or like, huh, didn't think I'd see Dredge. Oops.
It's like, oops, I'm dead. I can't
Yeah.
win. It's just like, or
Yep.
maybe you just get matched up with something like anything that isn't able to deal with a graveyard. So,
Well, that was like my Burning Vengeance deck in Standard.
Yeah.
It would win game 1, and then in came everyone's 8 cards of black, white, or black, red hate. Right, like
Awkward.
celestial purge,
Oh,
which
that
everyone
feels
was
bad.
which everyone was playing for something else, and then everyone would go through their sideboard in game 2 and be like, "Read this card, read it again." Oh, that actually blows up your entire
That's
deck.
yeah,
so we put
that's
in
the
4 of those,
harshest
and
when
it's
you have like
no.
the incidental hate.
Yeah.
Like
Like-
Rest in Peace gets played in a bunch of decks. In fact, in Legacy, like it even gets played main deck in like what's it called?
Well, there's that weird
combo deck.
miracle combo deck that's trying to Helm of Obedience them out.
Yeah, it
because
just,
it
like,
does
helms
it
you
does
out.
Energy Field and Rest in Peace, which is a combo.
Mm-hmm.
It does Rest in Peace and Helm of Obedience, which is a combo.
That
Yeah.
kills you.
Yeah, and then you go Enlightened Tutor. I think it also plays Sensei's Divining Top
Everything plays different
and
top.
Counterbalance.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like this-
Oh, the old
Yeah.
countertop.
Yeah.
Countertop.
And-
Countertop magic.
Yep.
so
From
that's-
kitchen table to countertop.
Yeah.
That's your
And
progression
actually,
through magic.
since Helm of Obedience is on there, this is sort of an unintuitive combo, so I'll explain it for a second. Helm of Obedience has a lot of words on it.
Oh god, it's one of those ones. Yeah.
So what it says is tap X and tap it. And then what you're going to do is do one of 2 things. You're going to try and put X cards into the graveyard. So let's say 3. Now, you go 1 at a time. And if any of those cards is a creature, you have to stop, sacrifice it, and you get to replace Helm of Obedience with that creature. But since it very specifically says, check, I want to put 3 cards in the graveyard. If you have something like Rest in Peace in play, which says there's no graveyard, it's like, okay, I'm going to put 1 card in the graveyard and check if
And
it's a
it
creature.
vanishes.
It's like, huh, I'm going to put 1 card in the graveyard and see, huh. And then,
Yeah.
your whole library's
Yeah, it
gone.
obliterates your
Weird.
library.
What happened? So it's sort of an instant win combo.
Losing on your draw step.
But I think maybe we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
But with some closing words, let's just say that
Brewing is fun.
yeah, brewing is totally sweet.
Yeah.
And there is a home for you in this game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Regardless
Yeah.
of format. Brilliant.
It's you have
the-
a cool home.
To the homebrewers of Magic, thank you for keeping our meta weird. We salute you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for keeping the formats on their toes. And
Hooray.
with that, we're going to sign off.
Hurrah!
So goodbye from Cameron
And from Alex.
See you guys. Thank you very much.
and Serge.